I've got a special guest here on the Boom and Freesia show. This is none other than Florida's Dominick Dunn. He is the guy that owns the dungeon, and he's got a lot of crazy stuff he does on there, from gambling to crazy action matches. He is involved in everything involved in pool, not only in Florida, everywhere. And Scott and I are lucky enough to talk to him. And how you doing, Dominic?
I'm doing good. It's very nice to have me on the show. I appreciate it, Mr. Bobby and Mr. Freezer. So thank you for having me on. It's a privilege.
We're happy to have you on, Mr. Dunn. We are happy you're number two on the list. You wanted you number one, but number two will work.
Yeah. I think I was gonna be number one and I canceled on you.
Yeah, that,
That's
that
gonna
didn't
be my
happen.
story.
Emily, that didn't happen, Emily. That didn't happen. I promise you that didn't happen. I still want to go to Saudi. All right.
True. Oh man. Well, this is a very cool thing you guys got going on. I feel like I think there's only like three people doing podcasts really entirely, and only one of them's pretty good. So, and you have the WNT Connects and the Northeast Connection. So I feel like we'll get a nice wealth and broad perspective of pool and different like personalities than other people doing podcasts. So I look forward to seeing the growth of this Shark stream with the freezer and Mr. Hilton.
Nice. Bobby Boom, brother.
Or Bobby, but I like Mr. Hilton because then we could always say you own Hilton hotels and nobody's really gonna know.
That's only if I'm in trouble. I got to use that.
Okay.
Dominic, let's talk a little bit. Let's get right into it. We know you run like a tournament out there in Florida, pretty good. You do a Fargo-based tournament, and a lot of controversy with players. A lot of players, that we talk to. Some people don't even like Fargo. They like, we want to get rid of Fargo. Let's make pool better. Let's get rid of Fargo. I want to know, how your tournament's going, and what's your attribute to that? What do you feel about that, the Fargo tournaments?
well, it's interesting. Before we started the dungeon, where we got our, I don't know, popularity, you can say, or being a large personality in Florida was because we ran tournaments. And when I met my wife, she beat me in a tournament and she beat me 5-1. And I thought that was like the hottest thing in the world. And I decided to marry her. Never looked back. But everybody would like rob the pot, right? They would like rob the players blind. They would take money out to Calcutta. They would take green fees. They take admin fees. They take, blow smoke up your ass fee, just every fee in the world. And then the winner wins $20. So Jen was doing well at the time. I started a new job. I was not doing well at the time. And we just decided like I have a lot of event coordinating in my experience and in my resume. So I could throw a party pretty good. So we decided to throw a tournament and we did 100% payback. We gave out like $2,000 in product. We just did a show and everybody was like, and we called it the People's Tournament and everybody loved it. And we just kept doing, we did a few of those a year. I think we did one a year for 3 years. And then COVID happened and then we started the dungeon kind of thing. And then it turned into a tour. But our tournaments tend to have pretty much no issues. The only issues that I ever have are something that I caused myself. Like I usually tend to make one mistake per event. And it happens to be a large one usually. Like I'll give you an example. My friend Jason Shearman, right? He buys himself in the blind bid. He's like a 720 Fargo. He's a very good player. He plays pickleball now. But very top player, very close friend of mine, a good mentor. And there was a ruling that he needed. He was playing Tommy Kennedy. It was Hill to get into like the final 16 or something like that. And he bought himself for like $700 or $800 in the blind bid. And I called a ruling that it was a foul because TK moved the ball or somebody moved the ball or whatever. Either way, it was wrong. Whatever I called, I was wrong. And it cost him the match. And it gave Tommy Kennedy ball in hand. And he ran out the seven balls that were less, and it cost him $800. So like those are the kind of mistakes. I make one mistake per event usually. But I don't think I don't have an issue with Fargo in its concept. I think Florida's friendly with it. I don't see a lot of complaints. I think The issue with Fargo, the people that have an issue is that you can't sneak up and rob somebody anymore, right? When you were in Scott's day, you had to go bar to bar, rip pages out of yellow pages so nobody else took the pool rooms, and then you'd go there and try to sneak up on somebody just to make a dollar. Like that's how they survived. It wasn't like manipulative or anything like that. It was just like that's what pool was at that time before W&T get involved and all the progression of pool in today's current decade. But you can't sneak up. So people have an issue with that. I think if you take all the potatoes off, that's the actual issue that you have to play even tough games.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. I actually think, Phoenix was a testing ground for Fargo. We were literally, and I shouldn't say Phoenix, Arizona as a whole was a testing ground for Fargo
And
years back. And I was talking to Mike Page. Mike Page is the founder, designer, developer, and he has a partner. But I was talking to Mike Page about it way back, and the only thing that really concerned me were that obviously, and it's not possible, are that it doesn't log games not played. So, for instance, if I quit for 4 years and my Fargo drops 2 points, I'm probably not going to play the same as I did 4 years
right,
prior.
right.
That being said, the positives to Fargo, and I know you see it, Dominic, in your area. What's odd is I'm in Miami, Florida right now, and this is kind of wild to me. And I've been teaching the last 7 days, but it's been really good for the pool rooms. It's been really good for the pool rooms. It's been really good for the tournaments. Um, the downside for me is I don't believe that it's really motivating players to get a lot better in a lot of
Right,
ways. I think it
right.
stuns some players' growth. Other
Absolutely.
than that, though, for business in the pool rooms, Bobby, I don't really know. I've spent time in your room, but Jeremy and I were all working. But out here in Florida, it's wild. They don't really. I mean, listen, I've worked with 40 league players, literally 40, maybe more, and half of them don't have ratings, which is
Hmm.
crazy to me. Yeah, and I'm down here in a big area.
Yeah. You'll tend to see in Florida's pretty unique in the sense of it's similar to an Arizona and Iowa and some Texas, right? Because we have about 25 players above a 700 Fargo, where most states don't have that. So what to Scott's point, those players that are above 700 royally get screwed. They get
Oh
screwed
yeah.
royally. There's very few tournaments they can play. And then when they do play, they're getting complained at. And it's like they've put all this time in. And the cons to Fargo are that the better player is crippled at this point in billiards, and it's only going to get worse. And it does not promote a player to get better. It does promote them to stay under. For instance, I'm a 594. I play pool. I go out of my house once every 10 days, roughly, unless I go to an event and I'm gone for like 7 days at a time. But I probably go out every other Tuesday, maybe a Friday or something, and I'll go play a $500 set, $1,000 set, or something like that. It does not benefit me to go spend one of my 3 days a month that I'm going to go do to go play an open tournament to go beat Scott Frost 7-6 because I'm a better player than him, and then my Fargo go up to 700 and something Fargo points when I'm a 594 right now, and it's easily for me to go over 600. So then I'm screwed. Now I'm out tournaments and I can't go play. Like I just don't play tournaments ever. Like very rarely do I play them. But yes, it does. I think it promotes a lot of people to sandbag. And those are the cons. I do think that there is a way to perfect Fargo. I think Fargo, the concept is awesome. My issues are not what I just said because those are personal character things. For somebody to sandbag, that's a character thing. Like that's their integrity. Um, my issue is that I know people that I can give the last two to. I can give the 8 ball to on a bar box 9 ball. I could give them the last two on a 9 footer, but they could horse fuck me playing 8 ball. They could give me 9-7 playing one pocket. And like those are the same people that I'm playing. Like every game is different, right? Like I can play somebody that I could give the last two to on a bar table or on a big table. They'll give me the last two on a bar table. Like all those games are totally different in their own thing. So I wish we would log an overall Fargo and then like a one pocket Fargo, an 8 ball Fargo, a bar box 9 ball big table, but that is a ton of data, and I understand it. And it's just what I'll preach till I'm blue in the face, but it is what it is.
We might get there. I think I definitely think we might get there. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you're exactly right, though. Right? There has to be some type of because one pocket's so big in the States. I know you guys play it where you're at. We play it where we're at. I will say though, Phoenix is one of the biggest Fargo-based cities in the country, if not the biggest. I'm not certain yet, but I know we have over 18,000 documented players just in the Phoenix metro area. That being said, back to the one pocket stuff. Listen. I fully agree. Now, I'm not saying they can differentiate it from bar table to big table, but listen, I mean, I'm a 760 playing rotation. I haven't played a rotation tournament since 1974, right? So, where did my rating come from? I don't even know what my rating is, right? But
Funny.
a lot of things to your point. There's a lot of good to it. I think it does a lot for the business for the most part.
Pool is on the
Like
growth.
this a
Things
lot
are
of
brand new. It's only going to get better. So everything's in its infant stage right now. We are in a massive swing in billiards with products, innovation,
yeah.
technology. Things are only going to get better. We just got to weed out the tough stuff right now, and Fargo's one of them right now. And it's only going to get better. They're going to do good. They love pool, and when you love something, you'll make it as best you can.
Well, I hope they're watching this because I think that developing a one pocket Fargo system isn't that complicated. We developed a handicap system for one pocket that's very in depth, very simple in Arizona. I mean, we got thousands of one pocket players, and we developed the system, and it works. And they have tournaments every weekend, one pocket tournaments, and it's a platform that works, and it's based off of Fargo. That's how we made the system, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice, good stuff. Good stuff there. All right, Dom, just change topics a little bit real quick. You had an unfortunate incident happen to you a little while ago. Unfortunately, lost your home to a fire, and I know a lot of the pool community really stepped up and really like helped you out a little bit. And I got to give you your props too. Where actually one point where you actually said, "Hey guys, I appreciate what you did. I'm not going to get all my money back, but I made enough to survive. Let me help some other people out." And that says a lot to your character. I just give you a platform to say, is there anything you want to say about what the pool community did for you and how you feel about, unfortunately, the unfortunate circumstance that happened to you?
Yeah, for many that don't know, we had my wife's grandmother passed away about 17 months ago, November 17 months ago, or whatever that math includes, and they had a rental business together and she inherited it, and one of them was a pretty good property where we lived in a three-story house. The first story was ours and it was like 5 bedrooms. The second floor was 4 units, four one bedrooms, and then the top was a one bedroom, and the person at the top unit caught their apartment on fire, and it just caught. And the fire, because it's three-story, there's a wraparound balcony. It's a very old house, and it sounds like really fancy shit, but it's just a really old house, so don't get it twisted. But it had a wraparound balcony, and they couldn't get to the fire because I put a privacy fence up, so they couldn't get to behind the building. So like they're trying to figure out how to get on and they sat out there for like 15, 20 minutes so they could get the right equipment to even get up there. And by that time, the smoke turned into like flames. And before you know it, it was just, you know, it was just one thing after another. The crazy part to it is that I uh I was literally messaging Jen
You're supposed to play, right?
yes,
I was
I
on the
was
phone with you. We were texting
yes,
each other. You text me when
yes.
it happened.
I know. So I leave to go to Rax Billiards, which is a 30-minute drive. I get there, I'm hitting balls. The opponent doesn't even want to talk to me. I'm like joking with him. He's like dead serious face because we're about to play for $16,000. Like we're playing for a lot of money. And I feel like I'm gonna heist this motherfucker. But whatever. We'll never know. Either way, I get frustrated because I forget the magic racks. And I've been practicing with these magic racks for a week. And I want to use that specific one. And I'm messaging Jen. She's not answering. I'm like, where are you? Are you gonna like? What are you doing? Can you bring these racks or what? Because she's waiting for the babysitter at the house, and she's sitting on the front porch and she's waiting for Fatima, our nanny. And a car drives by and says, "You know your house is on fire?" And then she calls me and she's like, "Hey, I'm not," or she texted me and she says, she's like, "Hey, I'm probably not going to make it. Our house is on fire, just so you know." So, one thing led to another. I don't think anything of it. I think like I'm just going to play this set, win this money, and call it a day. It's a fire. I can't do anything. They're going to put it out. We'll rebuild the roof and call it a day. Well, I've never seen a fire. I didn't understand what was going to happen. By the time I got there, our house was destroyed. And basically, our bottom where we live didn't catch fire. But when they're fighting this fire for 4 hours, all that water that they're spraying in the top floor has nowhere to go besides down. So all the fire retardant water, all the blackness, everything just like destroys everything on the first floor. So unfortunately, we lost everything, but in the end, like the overall, what we lost was luckily the property was the main, what the value is. So we lose about 10% of the value of the property and then the inconvenience of moving. Luckily, I have a one bedroom duplex downtown that we moved into. So we went from a 5 bedroom to a 1 bedroom and we're making it work. It is what it is. Until we sell, we'll figure it out. But I wasn't really, it didn't hit me until I seen Cleary's GoFundMe. So when you ask like the pool community what that meant to me was, I don't think the pool community knows what like it truly meant because it's easy to say that like, oh, it really meant a lot, but what it actually meant was what people don't realize is that I get into a massive depression if I don't have anything to do or if I'm not making money. So like I had 30,000 in the bank to not fix, but replace all the things that we spent money on. If I would have done that, I would have been in a massive depression, like massively. And most people like I don't know how to explain it to where somebody would totally grasp it. But what they did save was my mental health, and that was huge.
I
Um,
grasp it. I'm very similar.
yeah, I mean,
Same
so
way.
like,
Me too. It must be something with the pool tank because we're always thinking about money in the back of our head, make sure our
yeah,
families are right, and we got what we need. But that's why we're always working 80 hours a week here.
Yeah.
right. So so it was fine. Let me see. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. I messed up. All right, there we go. So what wound up, you there? Can you see me now still?
Yeah, you're
Uh,
good.
Yeah, you're good.
so we rate and I didn't also know how expensive this was going to be. In like a 7 day span, we spent $32,000 replacing our belongings, like things you don't even realize, like just comforter sets, a bed, like everything. When you say you lose everything, it's so hard to grasp until it happens, but you accumulate all these things over your years, and then when you go to grab something, you're like, oh, we don't have that. Let's order it. Oh, we don't have this. We got to order it. Just so anyway, but our immediate needs were met, and Cleary did a GoFundMe and we raised 16,000. We wound up raising like 40,000 and we basically replaced everything that we immediately needed to make us feel comfortable in that. And then we paid our bills for a few months and we still had some product left over. And like you said, like, I don't know, man. I asked, I wanted to put it public and I sent this message to two people. I put a list of everything that we spent our money on because I wanted transparency. I wanted people to see and which is none of not but everybody's business. People aren't donating to keep ties on me or whatever. But somebody said, "Hey, I would suggest you putting a limit on what you're asking for because there's certain people right now that can't even get $500 in their GoFundMe, and they're going through a tough time right now too. And yours is still up after a few days." And I was like, "Huh." And I went to go look at theirs, the person that he sent me, and they're like cancer, got no way to get to their bills paid, and here I am where people are just shipping it to me, and this guy can't get no help. So I just stopped right then and there. Our all of our needs were met. We were good. We replaced for the most part everything that we owned, and I just started donating to other people. We donated like a total of 4750, so $4,750 we donated to other people. So it was pretty
Awesome.
cool. Yeah, I was excited about that.
Good stuff, man. And
Yeah,
good
with the
stuff to the freaking pool community for getting up there and ponying up whatever you put in there, whether it was $1, $5, $500. It doesn't really matter. You took the time to do it, and that's what I think Dominic's touching on, right? Yeah, Clary put it up there. That's awesome. He's a great guy, but for everybody to chip in, that's something that's special about this pool community. People don't typically ask for help, and if they do, people usually pony up, and that's a special thing.
Correct.
eh,
I agree.
and kudos to you. Like I said, Dominic, once you said, hey, let's help somebody else, so you started giving away your money, which is incredible after just having a huge fire and the transparency. I remember reading your posts and I laugh now because obviously I know you and stuff, but you're like, I'm putting a fence in now, $2,500. You know what I mean? It was just, you were just like letting everybody know what's going on. It was pretty
So
cool that you were doing that.
we move into the one bedroom house and I let the dog out back and I forget I'm not in our house. Our house was fenced in, gorgeous, whatever. It was real nice all. And I let the dog out and I go back outside to smoke a cigarette. 30 minutes later, the dog's gone. And I didn't realize I didn't have a fenced in yard anymore. So we had to go out and go get the wood panels. And then we we put the fence like just shit you don't even realize you need still. Like just it was
Course.
hilarious. The dog's gone for 30 minutes, didn't even know it.
Having a
Yeah.
lifetime of his life out there chasing the animals.
Oh man. It's
But
so
yeah, I mean, I saw the pool community with some of your posts, like I said, with the transparency. But like, I think you had people actually like help you doing the fence, and you had people offer to help you to do all kinds of stuff, which is incredible.
we were
Absolutely
there.
incredible.
We had two helpers basically every day for I don't know 2 weeks. Basically, let's say two helpers every day at our house, and some days we paid them, some were voluntary, but nonetheless, like it is kind of mind blowing how much work had to get done. Not like we didn't repair the old house. Like the old house is staying there. We're going to sell the property. The person's buying the burnt structure. They'll bulldoze it and build their dream home. But like just moving and going to buy supplies and like I don't know how to explain it to where like it took us 3 weeks of like nonstop work to just get moved and it's just never building furniture and just unbelievable, unbelievable. But we're
Yeah.
good now. We finished everything the day before Buffalo's. I took that Sunday off and then flew to Buffalo. So now I'm home. We're caught up. Now it is like, so now I'm trying to figure out what's next. Like, I don't have a dungeon office anymore. I don't have a dungeon storage room anymore. Like I don't have anything. So like right now I'm in a room that is like, I don't know, 8 feet by 15 feet long. That's my office slash laundry room. So I don't have like shelves behind me with thousands of dollars in merch. I don't know what's to come, but that's
Well,
what to figure
Dominic,
out.
when do you is the house up for sale yet, or is it how long is it going to take to repair? What's the
We're
process?
not gonna. It would cost about $100,000 to repair it in an
Okay,
affordable because we have some pretty good connections, but we would get like $5,000 back in rent from tenants and stuff. But it would take 2 years for us to get our investment back, and we're
sure.
planning on selling it anyway. So we're just gonna sell it and then get a house. But
Is it up
we're
for sale now?
yeah, it's for sale now, but
Okay,
it's just tough. It's just gonna be a slow
sure.
move, and so we might be here a year. It may never sell. We don't know.
Cool.
So it's just unknown right now. We're just
Sure.
unknown and, just gonna grind it out. But I gotta figure out as a dungeon company, what do we do now? So the tournament, I'm doing this five tournament event coming up in 4 weeks. We can do that and just try to do some stuff that maybe we haven't done in a while that doesn't involve space in our house, like a, storage room and whatever. But we'll figure it
I
out.
get it. Yeah, yeah, it'll work out. I think everything you and I've talked about, I think everything happens for a reason. There's probably a reason. We don't know what it is yet, but I really do believe everything happens for a reason, whether it's good or bad at times. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. But I'm sure all good will come out of it. What do you got, Bobby?
I got a bunch of stuff. This guy's full of a lot of hot topics. One thing what he's known for too is, and I know you know about this guy, is he doesn't let people slide when things happen on pool. You know what I mean? If somebody wrongs somebody in pool, he doesn't let it slide. He sends his dungeon guys after him. You know what I mean? And I want to talk a little bit about that. The two in particular. But one I know with Josh Filler when all the WPA WNT stuff was happening. You were really letting Filler have it. I know you talked to him and stuff, and you guys are good and everything. And then the second one with the Johnny Archer and uh Oscar Dominguez.
Oscar.
Oscar, let's talk a little bit about those things and what is inside you that makes you want to make things right. When you see something that's wrong, you feel that's wrong, you don't shy away from it. You go to it full board, brother. Full board.
You'll have to circle back to the filler thing because that's a total separate thing and should not be in the Johnny Archer conversation. But that's a separate lesson where I will practice some humility on because I fucked up in that one. But when it comes to like Archer or other people like that, I think what it's not, first of all, I just hate bullies. So like, I'm not a fan of it. Like, I've been and that comes from my childhood, right? Like I was molested as a young child from 12 to 17 and like went to counseling and I was, insecure my whole life and I had to work on my self-esteem. I didn't piss excellence like this every day. I didn't wake up like this. Like I had to do so much work to have the confidence that I have today. So now I know what it's like to have that be that inferior person that somebody takes advantage of, right? I dealt with it my whole life. I went to counseling for it. So now that I'm an abuse survivor, like I have a really good resume, I have a few dollars in the bank. I don't mind standing up for the little guy. Like that person might not be able to punch back. That person might not be able to say anything back because their job may not like an aggravated assault charge where the dungeon does not mind if I get charges. They are very welcoming to any federal crimes, uh, but really no, it's just like you're a bully, that's fine. Well, guess what? I have a very large online presence and I will use it for the better. Now, I've done it in bad ways. I've done it in good ways. I've,
It's
felt
kind of like life. Like you said,
yeah,
you learn the lessons and you get
yeah.
better
I've done terrible things and called people out in inappropriate times. I've done it all and I've learned, and people that were here way before my green ass in this billiard industry have taught me and showed me and told me why we do certain things, why we don't do certain things. The Johnny thing was just what really irked me is because what may some people see it, but Oscar is such a kind human being. Like the dude, like you have no, like people have zero clue how kind this guy is. I stayed with him
I've
for a
known him
week.
very well for a long
Yeah.
time.
It's
same.
mind blowing how it's not, he's just not kind publicly. Like in his
No, yeah,
community, like in his
yeah.
community, he picks up people's tabs when he's at the restaurant and they can see that they're having struggling parents and they're struggling, like they're just frustrated. Boom. Like he does shit just that you would never know he does. So when you take advantage of him and like part of that money was Tommy's and like I don't know, the public probably doesn't know this, but Tommy's
Why don't you real quick just so people know, Dominic, tell the in a short, if that's
sure,
possible
it's
for you.
basically they played a set. They played a
Yeah.
set. The money was good. The money was posted. Their stake horses were good, and everything was squared away. And Johnny asked to borrow some money. Johnny borrowed the money from Oscar and used his kids as an excuse. Whatever, it's irrelevant. It's the past now, and the money was never paid back. It's just what it
Okay.
was. Nobody was
Yeah.
stiffed on a bet. It was a borrowed number, and it was not
Yep.
whatever. People involved in
Back in the
money.
day, this happened like
Yeah,
every week.
Yeah,
yeah. The
clockwork, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the people that were involved in the bet that were very close to me, they're the people who fund the dungeon. So like I took it personal when you take advantage of a Tommy who's never going to do
Of
anything. A
course.
Shane, like
Yeah.
they're not going to do shit. But anyway, I went above and beyond too with him, and I probably did a little extra on his ass, but it created great content. But the reason why I do that is mainly just because one I can, right?
And
And what I mean
just
by that.
real quick, Dominic, I just want to throw this in. And I know I throw big names in there with Filler and Archer, but you do this on your page for anybody. Like if somebody welches on a bet or doesn't pay, I mean, you're always for the little guy. It's never, like I said, when you feel something is unjust, you stand up for it. It's not just the big people or the people close to you. I see you doing it no matter what. If you feel somebody was wrong, so.
Yeah, yeah. The Archer's just an extreme. Like Filler's the number one player in the world. For me to stand up against Filler as publicly as I did, like The only reason why I could do that is because of what I'm going to say next, and that's like in billiards, right? I don't want to say you or anybody, but the majority of people are paid by sponsors or they want to maintain their certain professionalism, right? Like you are a very professional person, Bobby Hilton, right? You are not going to go
The
and do
boom.
some
That's the
crazy.
boom.
The Boom.
That's
The
Bobby
Boom
Boom.
is a very professional person. Now you might get him off camera and we could cut it up pretty good, but that's a different side of Bobby. But Bobby is a very professional. He works hard on his graphics and his content, and he puts a ton of hours into the billiards industry, where he may not be the person who calls somebody a scumbag publicly. You're never going to see Bobby do that. But the deal that I have with the people who endorse the dungeon are you're not going to censor me, right? I'm going to say and do whatever I want. If I'm wrong, message me. And I get messages often from Q-Tech, from other companies, and say, hey, you're wrong on this one. And I'll have to delete it and act like I didn't say it or whatever the case may be. But I just don't ever want to be censored, right? I've watched so many people get censored in this industry when they get bigger, and I just don't. And I don't want to say like, and again, this is not a stab at you, but like, I don't need their money. And I know you don't either. But
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I
I think there's, I mean, that's why we're having this podcast. I think there's several sides to that, but really basically just two sides. It's you're in a different position. I get it. You're to do this, right? Now there's people in other positions, such I'm just going to use myself, right? I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I could say Jeremy or Carl. I know them well enough. I can't go out there and say, "Hey, this guy stiffed me on a football game," right? That isn't going to work, right? So, and what I'm trying to do, I think we're all doing the same thing. We're just
Yeah.
doing it a little differently. Is we're trying to
Yep.
grow the sport,
yeah,
right? We're trying to grow the sport. So
right.
I think you're in a different position, and I think it's a healthy thing. I think it's a great thing, and I think, well, that's why you're on our show. But I think you're in a different position where you can land in that spot and
Right.
afford to do what you're doing, where it's not that others are being fake. It's
No, 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 for
probably
sure.
you
Right,
know, right. But it's
right,
probably more so that others are trying to take a different road just to
right.
do their thing, right?
If
I
I
think
worked
it
for
works.
if I worked for WNT, I would not be able to be the person I am. I'd be
Yeah,
fired.
Yeah.
I'd be
yeah,
fired.
Real
You know,
quick.
it depends on what
yeah.
target you want to go on to, right? Like what
Yeah.
Sure,
audience do you want to target? But I will,
sure.
so I'll circle back to the filler thing because what maybe people don't real see or knew, whatever, there was a big, standoff when it comes to people taking a pledge where, people were going to get banned if they didn't play. And they had the majority, World Nine-Ball Tour had majority of the top players ready to go, pledging that they weren't going to compete. And then Filler also was there too, and he backed out of that pledge and went and competed. And anyway, long story short, I ripped him a new one for basically, I called him all types of names and said he backed out on being a man. He's got no integrity. What people didn't know is Filler's my favorite player. So like I basically like it looked like my whole like I don't even know how to explain it, but like somebody took my favorite toy and like it just ripped me apart. Like I don't know, I took it personal. Like he did this shit to me. It's like a movie character. They die at the end of the movie. You're like sad.
Yeah.
I think you're right though. I think he was a lot of people's, and I shouldn't use him in past tense, but I think he's
Yeah.
a lot of people's favorite player, right? Listen, the guy is, I mean, there's just no
It's
question.
unreal.
He's the
The dude
most
is
talented
something
player on the planet.
unreal.
That's just no question.
He's so good, it's disgusting. But
Yeah.
what I didn't have all the facts at the time, and that was again another thing that Dominic does sometimes. He gets opinionated, and that's good. Like we're allowed to be opinionated in pool. It's okay. I just have to watch it because of I have a loud voice, so it's like I need to probably know what I'm talking about before I open my mouth, and I necessarily
Well,
did.
I have to say something though. And I'm not going to speak on it, but I do have all the facts. I do have all the facts, pretty much. And I mean, that's all I'm going to say. I mean, it's not like I can't go down that road, but there was definitely somebody that wasn't quite in the right there, you know.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. But
yeah,
what I didn't know
and
was like what I didn't know at the time was that Filler was struggling with the decision himself. And like he didn't know what he was supposed to do. And he didn't have a like I don't know. There was things that I didn't know. So I went up to him
sure.
at I forget when it was. I sent him an apology. I still think his decision was wrong, which that's I'm okay that I can publicly say that. I think his decision was wrong. But what I didn't know was that to me it looked like it was an easy decision, a manipulative one that he chose to do with competing with WPA.
Yeah,
And it
we all
really
saw
wasn't.
it. Yeah, we all saw it. And
He
that's how
was
a lot of people felt for
Right.
sure.
It was a struggle for him. He didn't know what he should and shouldn't do. He was getting torn and his sponsors and blah blah
Sure,
blah. And you know what? I didn't know all that, and that's fine. And
sure.
we hung out at Buffalo's a few weeks ago because some people know, but I bet a lot of money and a lot of money against Filler at Buffalo's. Um, I knew he wasn't going to be practicing. I knew Louisiana's a different breed than anywhere else in the country. I don't give a shit where you play at in Germany, New Zealand. I don't give a shit. Louisiana is different. And listen, let me tell you something. This dude didn't practice. He hit a stop shot before the tournament for him to practice. And the dude heisted the entire tournament. Never
Well, he
practiced.
played Tony. He did play
I
Tony.
mean, he practiced that
That's
week that he got there, but I'm saying
yeah,
like
yeah.
prior to that, he
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
have
yeah.
preparation or nothing, which is unreal. Like Scott was hitting stop shots for 7 months straight to play in that tournament and went 2-0. Filler got there and didn't hit a ball
Oh,
in the
shots
You're an
tournament.
fired.
idiot. You're
Shots
such an
fired.
idiot. You're such an idiot. Yeah, I should have. Speaking of that, I should have beat Filler. I was the only one that got close and should have beat
You
him.
could
But
dog
how?
it. You fucking
I
dogged it.
didn't dog it. He made the best shot
I
I ever seen.
he was a
Literally one of
ball.
the
He
best
was a
shots.
ball
I
hag
didn't
against
dog it
pocket.
one time.
The
Actually, I was
dude puts him
proud
in
of
a
myself.
stone cold trap, and the dude just shoots out of it and runs 19
I
and
couldn't
out. It was
I couldn't
disgusting.
believe what he did. I needed 3 balls to make it 4-4, and it's my break. I couldn't believe the shot he shot. It was actually a 1-5 for him, probably a 1-12 for Petter, probably a 1-12 for Shaw. Like he shot it. He could have just rolled my ball in that was hanging in my pocket. I couldn't believe he shot it.
Dude,
But
one
anyway,
pocket's
It
a
made it.
different
It
game,
made it.
man.
It made it.
It's
that's how
unreal.
talented he is, though. To your point, like he doesn't
It
need to
is.
play the game. His IQ, his pool IQ is so up there, and his talent is
Yeah.
stronger than anybody's talent that's ever graced our planet, and that's a fact. At least
So
while we've been around.
when the tournament was over, I went up to him and I put my hand out and I said, "Hey, I just want to congratulate you on a fantastic win. Congratulations." And he says, "Thank you." And I said, "Man, I bet a lot of money against you for I didn't think you were gonna do it." He says, he looks me dead in the eye and he says this, I swear to God. He looks me dead in the eye, doesn't blink, and he says, "You motivated me."
He's like that. He's like that.
Oh,
Like,
he
listen,
loves
he's
it.
like that
He
because
loves it.
because there was some tension between the WPA and Matchroom and this and that. And listen, when I was at the UK Open, or sorry, was it the European Open? I was
Hmm.
at the European Open in Bosnia, and then the PLP followed it up. Listen, we all saw it. Like that was his first event, kind of really back, right? And we
Oh
all
yeah.
saw it. He just came in and went about his business, right? And you
Yeah.
could see everybody felt it. We didn't talk about it.
Right.
Everybody felt it, right? Like we all kind of like, "Oh, fuck, this guy is literally just trying to just run everybody over and prove a point."
He's on a
He's
mission.
motivated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's motivated.
Yeah.
And you got to give him credit for that, right? You got to give him credit for that because
Yeah.
he can do the talking with his cue. And
Yeah.
I think that's powerful.
That
He was
sounds
awesome.
like Michael Jordan. They said, he was the
Yeah.
most competitive people in the world. He can find any little thing to motivate him, and that's what Filler's doing. And watch out because, I mean, he can get motivated by this podcast now. Who knows? You never know what he's
Well,
going to get.
yeah, we're
Listen, if
complimenting
you're
him though.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, they
Sure,
can
Filler, if you're
find ways to
watching,
motivate. They can
sure,
find ways to
absolutely.
motivate. You
listen,
know.
Filler, if you're watching this, go watch this podcast. I talked a bunch of shit, so just watch it from the beginning. And then secondly, you cannot win Saudi Arabia, so prove me wrong. Let's see it.
Oh man,
Well,
challenge.
well, speaking of Saudi Arabia, like, but would you take filler to last longer over 2 players?
No, no.
So
I
would
would
you
take
take
him one on one against anybody, but not two.
against
No.
anybody? Against Federer, you
Yeah.
would?
Yeah. Yeah. Federer's terrible. Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, who just called me his boss. I'm just
I
saying.
was out to lunch.
I wish I video recorded that.
I was out to lunch with Federer a couple weeks ago, and I said, man, do you mind hitting a couple stop shots before this Shane match, please, man? My life depends on it.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Sword
Oh,
just called me as we're trying to do this podcast.
yeah.
So
I'm
I'm
sure he
gonna
did.
tell him.
Oh man.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, I got a couple other things I got to talk about. Um, So with this whole thing, when you first started, like I said, I don't even know if you remember. I came to your room, I think it was 2021 for a match, and I was just starting the Shark Stream. You were just starting the dungeon, and you playing one of my well, not a he's a guy. No, I'm not going to say he's a friend of mine, but you ended up playing him, and I am going to your place and just to check it out, and see where we are now and what you're doing. How does that make you feel, and what does it make you feel when somebody comes up to you and says, "Hey, what's up, Dominic? I love what you're doing." How does that make you feel? Did you think that could ever happen? And how does it make you feel?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I forgot that it was you that sat on that couch because I used to, for those who don't know, when during COVID we started the dungeon, it was just basically streaming me playing pool for like $500 or whatever. And somebody came from Rhode Island and came and played me a race to 21. I don't even know why we were playing races to 21. We were playing marathon pool, can't make two balls in a row, but wanted to play to 21. It makes zero sense today.
Because the cool guys do it. Because the
Yeah,
cool guys.
it was
Yeah,
unreal.
right.
Yeah, it makes zero sense today now that I look back at it, but it worked. Anyway, so he's like, "Hey, my friend wants to come over and bet 500 and watch." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine." And then you sat there, whatever. I forgot it was you, and I don't know if we ever brought it up until this moment, but that is really interesting that it was you to see you from there to where we're at now, because that
Crazy,
was
man.
the
Crazy.
beginning. That was might have been the third match I ever played on stream.
Probably. Probably.
And I'm the second, but that might have been the second, and now I'm the second interviewee on your podcast.
That's craziness. Yeah,
But
it's crazy
I do,
times.
I do find it really cool. I enjoy it. Obviously, it is a nice boost to the ego when somebody knows you and they thank you for everything. And I think that's what's important is when they thank you for the things that you do and they'll list them. I think it's important to stay true to that character of who you are and to continue to be that person and uh, and just stay true to yourself. So like that's my goal. When I hear the thank yous, or whatever, I just don't want to change. Right? I could easily sell out. There's some companies that'll pay me some good money to sponsor the dungeon, but there's things that I'm not allowed to do, and I just choose not to. Like I just
I
don't.
I think that's great advice for anybody watching as well, to be yourself, right? I really do. I've been with the same cue maker for 15 years. I don't get paid to use his cue. I've had a ton of offers, but I told him what I got with him. I'd never leave him. Many other deals. But I'm just saying, being yourself, even if you change, we all change. I've
Yeah,
changed a lot
well,
in the
yeah.
last 10, 12, 15 years. When I started teaching, I've completely changed. Like my entire persona's changed. I've changed, but it's good to be yourself. I think that's the best thing you can ever do.
I think if we're changing for maturity reasons and responsible reasons, it's good, right? Like your
Yeah,
shirt used to
absolutely.
be 3X when you could only fit a large, but now you understand that you are an extra large and you're good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm extra large.
Look at the guns. Nice.
If
Look at
Scott's
Scotty.
not wearing, I know Scott is off of his game. I will always bet against Scott if he's not wearing a polo shirt and Nike 720 sneakers.
Oh, hot tip, everybody. Hot tip, the dungeon.
And cargo shorts. If he's not wearing cargo shorts, bright red 720s with a polo shirt, he's got
No,
no.
he's no shot. No
Yeah,
shot. That's
I got that.
hilarious. You want to add anything to that, Scott, or no?
No, I'm all right. He's right. But I don't have red ones anymore. But yeah. What's
Uh,
next? Let me. Can I ask a question, Bobby?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, bro. It's your show too. Let's do it.
Uh, how did you get in the pool? Because I didn't know who the hell you were. How did you get in the pool? How did because I think I came across this story. How did you get in the pool? How did you get in the pool? How did you get the dungeon? How did all this happen?
it was ego. It was all ego based. Like I was going to a local bar called Capone's, which you might have been there, but a local pool room called Capone's in Spring Hill, Florida. And I was playing a few days a week, just going up there with friends and beating them. And I'm super loud. So, like, as loud as I am today, I was loud there. And I was just, oh, you can't win. And I'm beating all these, like, my friends who can't hold the stick. Neither can I. But each eight ball rack's taken 30 innings, and I'm talking shit. Well, this local guy goes, hey, we have tournaments 3 days a week. Why don't you come and play in one? And I'm like, why not? It's 20 bucks, 10 bucks, whatever it was. All right. I'll never forget this. I go and play the tournament. I lied to every single opponent that I went up to because I felt so insecure. I didn't own my own cue, by the way. So I would go and start the match, and I'm the lowest handicap in the tournament. I'd go up to them. I can't even hold a bridge. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I say the same lie to all four people.
What
And
year was this?
8 years ago.
Okay. Okay.
8 years ago, I say the same lie, and I tell them, hey, I just came from work. I forgot my cue at the house, but I wanted to play the tournament, so I'm playing with a house cue. Take it easy on me. The same lie to every four people. And one guy, Jessica Barnes, who tours on the WPBA, she played me. She beats me and then teaches me how to hold the bridge. The next guy, two people the next two people miss a ball and forfeit the match to me when they're up 2-0 going to three, and then like they let me advance, whatever. They don't, when you miss a ball and you're just like, fuck this
Yeah,
shit.
piss doesn't
That's
matter.
what they
Yeah,
did.
for sure.
Well, and then I whatever. So anyway, I would go back and I go back and like I don't know why I kept going back, but I did. And then I beat my first opponent, and it was game over from there. Like I won my first match, like shitting in 9 balls or whatever, and I chased that high ever since. And then I got a little bit better, maybe 450 Fargo, let's say, and I wanted to like go travel to like amateur events. And my second amateur event, I met my wife, and
Shit.
That's the one where
it
she
was
beat you, right?
my first amateur tournament, not like weekly race to two. It was like race to seven for $40 or something. Met her, and and the rest is it. I've always been successful at everything I've ever done in my life. I just never been successful at a romantic relationship. So I would drive every weekend to her. She was 2 hours, 2.5 hours away, and I moved in with her 9 months later, picked up my whole life, moved in with her, and then we just kept going to more and more tournaments. We threw a tournament ourselves, and the rest just kind of kept going.
Yeah, well, I can see why you went back. I mean, Jen, I don't know her very well, but I know of her and I've talked to her briefly multiple times. She's an absolute sweetheart. So, yeah, I think she is absolutely the yin to your yang and keeps you grounded as grounded could be for a Dominick
Yeah,
Dunn.
she's
I
awesome.
I want to give her a shout out as well too. I don't know her well either, same thing. But the first time when I was at that first match, so whatever it was 5 years ago, she came in and she started in the house. We went to the house, I remember, for something. Maybe we go to the bathroom, and she was talking stuff. Oh, we got to get some raffles out. We got to do this. At this point, I'm like. So she's doing everything, and he's over there losing money playing pool. This is going to work out great, you know. It's perfect, and that's exactly what you post. And you're very lucky. So good job,
Yeah,
Chad.
yeah, she's awesome for sure. I'm definitely lucky, obviously. If you have to deal with me, 352 days a year, whatever, that's a lot.
Yeah, I'm not much better.
Oh man.
I
So why don't we go in, Bobby?
Go ahead.
Why don't we go into a well, Dominic, you and I were at Super Billiard Expo, and I want to hear a story, right? Because I feel like it's pretty funny.
Oh, it's a
Dominic,
good.
yeah, I want to hear a story. Dominic, listen, we've all, listen, if you've ever gambled, I've gambled for my living most of my life, and you're gonna have times when you gamble where shit just goes bad. And when shit goes bad, you tend to at times make spur of the moment decisions. I've done it a million times. I just somehow talked my way out of it.
Yeah, yeah,
but you
yeah.
make bad decisions at times. And I came across Dominic and I were doing a few things together, but I heard the story the next day. I had left him when he was in this position. I had to go home. What happened? Tell
And
us what
I
happened,
just so you
Super
know,
Dude.
I think 2.0 might have the partial video of that was never released. So I think I probably holding you for ransom for that, Dom. I don't know what are you doing,
It
how that's
might be.
not
If
released,
there's a
but
video, it would not look good. But basically, what had happened was I was having a tough expo trip. I couldn't win a bet. Things were going bad. I think, and then I'm sitting there, and obviously the expo, for those that don't know, is like the back room is all gambling, the front is all tournament. All of us DGens live in the back, and it is a lot of Dominican people, and they make the action happen. They're in action 24/7. The money's going because of them. And a few of them I've known pretty good over the years of gambling with, and I'm betting this one guy 200 a rack. And I lose. I pay him the $200. He starts dancing. I win the next rack. I start dancing, and then we bet the third rack, and he doesn't pay off, and I win. And I'm like, my guy made the nine ball. Why don't you pay me? And he's like, after I pay you later, or something like that. He's like disregarding it. And then the match is over. People are handing him money. And I'm kind of hot now because like it's my first bet that I win. Nobody's gonna fucking pay me. Jesus Christ. Come on, man. Let me at least win one. And everybody's handing money. I said, Papa, you gonna pay me or no? And he says, no, no, no. He says, no. I said, what? And I don't know why this $200 just upset me. Meanwhile, for those who don't know about gambling, like it's not my money. I'm just using somebody else's money to gamble. I get a percentage, whatever, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this guy's stiffing me on my $200. I don't know what gets into me over $200, but I decide that I'm gonna fight this guy, right? So I now imagine, you know those Facebook hoodies, the what's that brand anyway? They're really thick. Anyway, I got stuff in my pocket. I take it out and I take my hat off. I put the shit in the hat. I throw my hat and I take off my hoodie and I go and I square up with the dude and I get in his face and I said, "You're gonna stiff me, blah blah blah, the effer, blah blah blah." And I'm cursing him out in his face, and this dude doesn't blink. He ain't phased one fucking bit, and I'm like, this dude like slowly looks at me, like confused, like, is this dude really trying to fight me right now? It's not like he's big, he's like muscular, like it's not like it would be a very fair fight. So fact that he's confused is I'm confused by this. This dude looks at me like I'm a little punk. This dude turns his head slowly and is confused. Well, what I don't realize is I then turn my head. And when I turn my head, there is one human being. His name is Dominick Dunn standing there. And when I turn around, there is a sea of 30 Dominicans surrounded me, waiting for me to do anything. And I just look back and I go, God damn it. What the fuck did I get myself into? So, of course, now I gotta be a bitch and I gotta backpedal. And I'm like,
What'd you do?
well, I kind of just
What'd you
left or
do?
whatever. I was just like, hey, I didn't mean nothing by this. And I'm like, I almost was like, hey, what I wanted to tell him was, hey, I know you owe me 200. Let me just pay you 200. I'm sorry. My guy made the nine ball. It was an accident. My God, it wasn't supposed to make the nine ball. I'm sorry. Here goes the 200. But anyway, they're still mad. They're trying to get to me. This guy's coming at me with a cube. This dude's holding him back. And I'm just sitting there like, got nowhere to go. I'm boxed in. So I slip out and I'm walking out the arena. They realize that I kind of left. And then they come charging me again. I'm like, what the? They won't accept the apology. I'm being nice, whatever. Some people get me out. I come back the next day. This is the best part of the story. I go to the guy that I know. I said, hey man, you mind talking to that kid and let me know if everything's good. If we're not, then that's fine. I'll leave. If we're not good, if we're all good, I just want to, apologize for my behavior last night and call it a day. I overreacted over $200. It's my fault. Blah, blah. My guy shouldn't have made the nine ball. Sorry. So the guy goes, listen, it's not good for you. This is not good for you. This is so funny. He says, "This is not good for you. It's not good for you here." And I said, "No, no, I know, I know." He says, "No, stop cutting me off." He says, "It's not good for you here. It's not good for your house. It's not good for you anywhere in America. You just fucked with one of the head of the cartels." And I go, "Oh my fucking God, Jesus Christ." So I wound up messing with the wrong dude, which is why he was surprised that this little white dude was trying to stand up to him. Meanwhile, everybody talks to him. He's good. They text me and say, "You're good, Papa. Come back to the back room." And I'm like, "All right, well, let's gamble here." I go up to the guy. He's like, "Hey, Dominico, what's up? Hey." I'm like, "This dude was ready to kill me yesterday, and now he's my friend." And then we wound up betting $200 on the next set that happened. I
Pretty good
lost.
stuff. Pretty good
I
stuff.
paid.
That at the end of the day, that's probably minor compared to some of the things he deals with. He probably
Yeah, he
got a
don't give
kick
a
out.
shit.
He got a kick out of it, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. So
Oh
that was
yeah. He thought it was
entertainment. That
great.
was
This little white
entertainment.
guy standing up to his ass
Yeah.
thinking he's gonna fight him, and then I look around and I'm just kind of
Who is this crazy white kid? Is exactly
yeah.
what they were saying.
Yep. Not no happening. I'm sorry, guys. It was my fault. I owe the 200. I'm sorry.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. You're I mean, we have a term in the gambling world, and I think most of us know it in the gambling world. You might not know it in the real world, but it's called being on tilt, right? Dominic was on a little bit of tilt that night, which we've all been there. I'm just saying he was on
Yeah.
tilt and just made some quick decisions, and trust me, I've got a few of those stories.
Gambling's gambling. Sometimes it goes
Yeah.
your way, sometimes it don't. I'm sure if I would have just practiced some calmness like a normal human being and said, "Hey, remember when we agreed to this?" He'd have been
Yeah.
fine. We gambled for
Sure.
years. I was just in a bad mood, and it was the cherry on top, and it is what it is. It had
Yep.
nothing to do with him. That was the excuse I was using to let down my frustration at that day.
The one wrong guy to pick. You picked the one wrong guy. The
Yeah.
one wrong
Of
guy of
course.
all of them. You picked that guy.
Yeah.
Why
Of
couldn't I pick
course.
Michael Matthew? Why couldn't I just pick Michael Matthew?
I know. I know. I know it.
Golly, he's got a nose I'd love to fight. Oh my
There'd be
God.
there would be a line that kid. Oh, so many times we almost got into fights with that kid. Oh my gosh, he deserves it.
He's awesome. That guy can't win for nothing, but he's awesome.
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to McDermott Hughes. McDermott Hughes, handcrafted, made in America. Great, great cues. Check them out. McDermott Hughes. Their link is in our bio. You can always check them out. And they have cues from ranging from 70, $80 to starter cues, $2,000, $3,000 cues. They have the Mach 1 brake cue, which is amazing. So if you never had a McDermott, you want to try them. I use them. Lucas uses them. Check them out. That's McDermott Hughes.
Yeah, big shout out to Classic Billiards, my man Dave Bartosiak and his wife Leah. Listen, they're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You could call it Miami. They're as good as they get. The vibe in their pool room is absolutely insane, and they're trying to spread the love, right? This guy does so much for pool. Classic Billiards in South Florida. Look them up. If you get in the area, check them out.
Sponsors. We got some sponsors for this podcast alone. And Dominic, you have some podcasts or some supporters for your dungeon and stuff. There's so many people that are involved in the sport that do so much for it. Like, Tommy Tattoo Supply that does it for us. Obviously, I was talking about McDermott. He was talking about Classic Billiards. Dominic, what are some of the big supporters and how does that make you feel about the supporters that do that for what we do? It's amazing, right?
I think it is very generous because let's face it, there's a lot of times that they're not getting a return on their investment. And there are certain things that their companies will stick with you. Like a perfect example is probably McDermott for you guys, right? Like they probably blindly believed in you and they did not probably know because they probably get pitched it so much and they probably had no idea that they were being pitched by a person who actually can back what they say up, right? They probably get emails at hundreds a month. And like they take a chance with you. You get involved in the McDermott Classic. You help get players in there. You put players in there yourself. You put the podcast. You help travel with their players. Like they get a lot of return for their value with whatever they do for you. But that's not the case with most companies, right? Like people just ask and ask and ask, and they don't do anything to where the difference is, and I think there's a common denominator is you have past business experience. You've owned your own business. You have a lot of things to where your dollar rides. You don't make a dollar unless you put hard work in and to where you've gotten in life. So you understand that to where when you ask them, other people on your side, you're going to put your money where your mouth is. And I think that's what separates us from most people who ask.
Yeah, no, no, I
That's
agree.
it's a I agree. I think Bobby, of all people, deserves the best of the best sponsors. And Bobby knows me. I don't actually ask for sponsors because I feel like if you're performing, doing the right things out there, the sponsors come to you, right?
See,
That's kind of how I feel.
that's part of it, but I'm the type of guy. This is where I got a little bit of both here. I'm going to do what Dominic does. I'm going after it. I'm going to say, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to give you this. We got to get it. You know what I mean? And with the background that Scott has, just the history and all the stuff that he's done in his career, it's a no brainer. It's as simple. And same thing with you, Dominic. You're shorter career, but whatever you do, you go out there and you back it up. You get the people behind you and you push the product and I mean, your raffles and all that good stuff. So. I
I'm
just feel
really
that that's what the important part.
I'm really transparent with it now. Like, for instance, I just there's no disrespect to Scott because, well, it's really not going to be disrespectful to him. But I just don't think players are the way to go. Like, I just don't think sponsoring players are the way to go. Right? Like, look at what JJ.
I agree with that.
Yeah, look
I
at
agree with
JJ,
that.
Carl, and Scott, right? Those are three really good people to sponsor. Look at Carl. He gets sponsored by several people. JJ does very well, but look at JJ is a perfect example of why I like JJ. He is in front of the camera all the time, and there's two things you're always going to see him wearing. It's a Fort Worth Billiards hat and a Q-Tech t-shirt. It don't matter if he's at the laundromat, if he's at the bank, or if he's doing a clinic. He always has those two items on. He does well, and he also gets a lot of TV time, a lot of camera time, and doing a lot of clinics. So like I would be shocked if people don't, if I don't know, if people are not clawing at the bits at Scott personally. I mean, they really should because there is a lot of value. Obviously, it's proven that he's not just there to be a fill-in on the WNT tour. So I don't know. I think if anybody's watching, if you want some good value, Scott is available to take that
You're the
polo.
man, Dominic.
Take
Love
that
it,
That
polo.
love it,
He's
love
been
it,
wearing this
love
dang
it.
polo thing for years, and we're over it. All right, we're over looking at it.
that
Give this
10%,
man,
I'll get you the 10% in
give this
a
man
couple of
five
weeks.
thousand a
Couple of
year, and he
weeks.
will wear your brand. But
Well,
um,
well, I think you're right. I got to cut you off. I think that when you touch on players, very few players, and it's sad, very few players can give a sponsor or business the value that
mhm,
they deserve. Now, that's
mhm.
not a good thing. It's not a good
No,
thing.
no.
But the platform that a guy like Carl has, a guy like Jeremy has, and I'm doing everything with the Derby and everything with all these other
You're doing
companies.
everything, Scott. I got to interrupt you real quick. Just and Dominic, you know this too. Scott is busting his ass. He's
Yeah.
literally, like I said, he hasn't been home in a month, and before that, he was gone for 3.5 weeks hiking mountains over the country, across countries, and he hasn't been home in a while. So I got to give it to you, Scott. You're busting your hump. You're putting in the work. So
I
kudos to you,
appreciate
man.
it. I
What I think is
appreciate it.
important for you, Scott, though, right now is while there is the momentum. Like you
Yeah,
have to take advantage of it, and you know it. Just it's just like
I
imagine it's
am. Trust me. I
imagine
am.
it's football season. You know we got to grind
Yeah.
towards football season. We got
Yeah.
to grind now. While there's momentum, there's all the clinics are happening, all the commentaries happen. People
Yeah.
don't tend to do that. They get they get a little bump or they get some help, and then they stop. They're just comfortable. Like
They'll
you've got
never
to.
change. I agree. I agree. But I've always had, and I do quite well. I'm very grateful for all I have in my life. I do very well for a pool player. I've always had one thing that I stand by. I was raised by a very good family, very good father, a very good mother. My brother and sister are both very successful, and they've got everything from hard fucking work. And one thing I believe in is I will never support a product I can't stand behind. And that's the truth. I want Bobby knows this, and the people that know me, like me, dislike me, whatever it might be, I'm not going to stand behind a product just to get paid. Never have and never will.
Mhm.
And that's just kind of the thing. Now I'm listening to what y'all are saying, and I understand that, and maybe I'll put something else together, uh, and look forward to maybe. But gosh, I'm not the type of guy to make a post or do anything like that. I feel like that's a little tacky on my end. I do believe that I have a big platform, though. I do believe I can reach millions with my ability to commentate now, which is awesome. And I just kind of fell into this. So anyway, that being said, I did want to talk. I was in Orlando. I was with you, Dominic. We were uh in New Orleans. Can't even think. Buffalo's Billiards. We went for that awesome tournament there. Shout out to Buff. Then went to Orlando. I had a couple clinics there. Then I came here to South Florida. I came here with somebody else, and he's got something pretty big coming up. And can you guys guess who that is? Shane Van Boning. Yeah, yeah. So Shane's been here.
Yeah, boo, Shane, boo. We
Why
don't like
why boo why boo Shane
we don't like Shane this week. Shane, we are not Shane fans this week. And when the
this week?
15th, the 16th comes, we will love Shane all over again. But until then, Shane, you're the enemy.
Well, I love that. I think that's fine, right? And I'll be honest. I don't tell Shane. We've eaten breakfast together. We've done a lot together, but I've sat there and watched what he's done in the last 5 days, which is the guy is crazy. I mean, we're pretty close, but I think this match is truly going to be another war. I think it's going to be very close. I personally think it's too close to bet on. I'm going to scare a couple of people, at least one person in this group. He never shot ball for the first 4 days. He broke in front of hundreds of people in this room that was stuffed. I was reserved the table in the corner. He was reserved the table right next to me, and it was roped off. We got to bring in whoever we wanted to teach. Shane sat there and racked the balls, broke the balls for at least 5 hours, every single day until he was satisfied with where he was at. And I'll tell you, the first day, I still liked Federer in the match. Day two, at a certain point, something clicked with him, and I was like, "Oh, dude, this is why this guy is so unbelievable, right? Like he found a couple of spots, and he firmly believes the table down here is going to play identical, same size pockets, same everything, and it's very humid in rail yard billiards. Shout out to Kyle Ferguson, one of the best, ex Pool Live. But he found a spot or two, and then he would go to another spot or two. Dude, I'll tell you, man, after day five of watching him break and run these balls, I mean break and break and break and break and break, it's stunning what he can do. It's stunning at 41 years old and how long he can play for and his endurance to just do this over and over and over. It's insane because it's back-breaking work to fucking rack the balls, walk around the table, break the balls, and do it again over and over. 5 hours to
It's
seven
your
hours a
back.
day.
It's
Yeah,
such a
absolutely.
oh my God.
Absolutely.
My back hurts you just telling that story because
Oh, it
I
killed me.
laugh with Shane. Shane tells me he's like, "I'm gonna bust you, Dominic. I'm gonna bust you. Watch." Like he loves it. He loves when people bet against him. He enjoys it. He don't
He
mind.
does.
A lot of the
Yeah.
action, the people who gamble regularly, they don't take anything personal. But what is interesting is, and this is like, and I'll laugh at the end of it. Let's say Shane heists them, which is very well might happen. The fact of the matter is Shane is the only undefeated big table 10 ball player till this day. And there is a reason why nobody has beat him. And then you get the new green guys like me that come in and they go, Federer's way better than Shane. He's going to do this, he's going to do that, or this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And then the old heads that's been around, the dinosaurs like Scott Frost, who got
I
wrinkles
knew it was coming.
everywhere. They 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 just sit there, they just laugh at the green new guy like me, and they just go, "Okay, buddy, all right, whatever. You think he's so good." And then you go flip the coin, and then you're like, oh my God, this is what all the dinosaurs were talking about. Because he was before his Big Ten ball matches were before my time. I got to see
Yeah.
the Dennis, I got to see the Chang, but I didn't see him play Alex. I didn't see him play all those people off camera that he's always been undefeated. Nobody's ever beaten him in a long race 10 ball. And there's a reason for it. The dude, and listen, one thing people need to know, and this is a fact, Jack. The dude is on the square, and like he doesn't take anything. In billiards, people stay up all night. They may do some things to alter that and how
Oh,
Shane does not take nothing. Nothing.
you,
Not one thing. The only thing he'll ever do is he'll have a Corona after he wins a tournament, maybe. But during the match, there is no additives to make him stay up for 20 hours. And he plays 800 Fargo speed for 20 hours. It's unreal.
Yeah.
it is unreal, but I will say I've been around a long time. I don't know any elite players. Elite players. Promise you, when I was in my prime, I never did drugs, never and played pool, never drank and played pool. No elite players that I know of, that I truly know of, elite players have ever taken really anything. That's why these guys are elites, in my opinion.
That's interesting.
That's my opinion.
And I also
And
want to
now,
touch.
when you get just below that, right?
Right.
You understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
When you get
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
below that, to the guys that
Yep.
can't get to that level, there's
Right.
reasons,
That's all
and
they
I
got.
understand that, right? I
Right.
understand that. It's very tough. Tough physically, it's tough mentally, it's tough financially. All that shit is a problem, right? Because they work so hard and they're this close to being an elite player.
That's
And it's
fair.
just so hard to get there. So, but to your point, you're also talking about how long he can play for. I think that because I know him, it's going to happen. Father time is one thing we can't outrun. Father time is one thing we can't outrun. He still seems a little bit superhuman to me. I know I've known him since he was a kid, so he's definitely changed. But he's going to get beat sooner or later. I don't know if this week's going to happen or not. I truly don't. I think this match is, God, it's just so close.
It's so funny. I just want to retouch the point on what Dominic was saying. He says he's never lost a 10 ball. And that's why
No,
Federer wants to play. That's why Federer wants to be the one to take that 10 ball from him. You know what I mean? No one's ever did it. Federer has a lot of pride. He's, obviously one of the best players ever in our lifetime already. And, that's one of the reasons why he wants to play Shane. And he wants to win that 10 ball. And it's not an easy task. And last year, a lot of people thought that was going to be the year. And then Shane came back in the last day and did what he does. I'm excited for the match. And again, I'm not going to bet on it, but I'm going to be watching for sure.
I took Federer. I'm stubborn.
I know you took Federer. Uh, but I'm not betting either way. And I'm really not because I'm covering the match over 3 days. So I fly out Thursday evening. Then I go straight there, and then I'll finally get to go home. It'll be like a month and a week that I'm gone, it was always a rule of mine. I was never going to be gone more than 2 weeks. I always had a home to go to. I was never that guy. I would go out, make my money, come back home, put it away. I would make my money. But anyway, back to that real quick. I just think that sooner or later, Federer's gonna get the feather in his cap, and he won 3 majors as the last time that they played this match, but he didn't only win 3 majors. He beat somebody in the finals of a major that could have changed history. Does anybody know what that is?
Shane Van Bonen, U.S. Open.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, number 6, right?
There wasn't
Don't.
one person that wanted Federer to win that match in that
You're
arena.
right. You're
Not one.
right. You're right. I get
One.
chills thinking about it. I get chills thinking about it. But if anybody else was going to win it, I can truly say this. I'm freaking happy it was him.
For sure.
Right?
For
Right?
sure.
But don't think that that doesn't play a role up here. 100%. They're both human people, right? They both bleed. They both breathe. Don't think it doesn't play a role in what's
Yeah.
happening, right?
Yeah.
Because in the back of their minds, one of them knows that they beat the other one the last time on the biggest stage that you could ever set up.
For
Yeah,
sure.
that US Open was something crazy because it was history was guaranteed as a pool fan. You were going to get somebody to hold the Triple Crown, which has never been done, which is the World Pool Masters, the World Nine Ball Championship, and the US Open. Nobody's ever done that. And then you would have had Shane get his sixth title because Earl has five, and maybe somebody else. But either way, if Shane gets his six with the talent that is in billiards today, no one will ever get four or five. It just will never ever happen. The talent level is not like it was back in the day where Mika Immonen could get four of them or something, right? Like there is so many fillers of the game today that it's a crapshoot who's winning a tournament. So for you to win several tournaments in one calendar year, do you understand how strong that is when a filler or a PGIS or whomever wins two or three? But I'll tell you what, I bet 500 on Shane that tournament in the finals, and we all knew Federer. You're supposed to bet on Federer. I mean, you just knew it because the way he was breaking was so good. But it doesn't matter. Federer had a huge lead, and then it gets it to Shane crawls back and he gets it to 10-8 and he scratches in the side in the corner. It gets kicked into the corner 10-8 and you could hear a pin drop. I mean, it was unreal. But Shane would make a stop shot that Bobby Hilton can make and the place would erupt. And then Federer would go three rails with the cue ball in between 2 inch gap to get in a 4 centimeter window to play perfect shape. No, you heard like two finger snaps. But Shane would hit a dead stop shot and the place would erupt. There wasn't a Federer fan in the building, dude. It was hilarious.
Yeah, Shane's got a lot of USA fans for sure. And of course, with
You're
all these
muted.
US Opens, it's just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Scott, what'd you
Two
say?
things, two things real quick, Dominic. It's Bobby Boom, number one, Bobby Boom. And then number two, do you really think, here's my concern. What was sad for me is, to your point, Dominic, is how hard it is to even get to that point. For me, Jeremy Jones and I have talked about it quite a bit. How hard is it for Shane to ever get back, or is it going to be for Shane to ever get back in that position again? There's a chance, right? There's a chance. But it was so big. That moment was so big. You could feel it in the air. I commentated the first half of the finals. You could feel it in the air. It was like insanely thick.
It was
And
unreal. Unreal.
yeah, it was. And Jeremy Jones and I've talked about it. Jeremy thinks that he's got a real good, and listen, I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just
Right.
like, I know how tough it is. I know Jeremy does too. He thinks he's got a good chance to make the finals again in the next couple of years. I get it, but to your point, like, dude, there is so many great players out there now. It is like,
I'll tell you
that's a
this.
very tall order. The very
Yeah.
tall order.
This is what this is my opinion of it. Because WNT is seeded, the US Open is seeded. So he's got a chance to make it out of his quadrant pretty good to get into the redraw, the final 32. From there, he should always make the final 32 in the next 3 years. I think he's got 3 years to do
It's a
it, and
good
that's
point.
it. Because he can make it into the final 32 to where he's going to be what a top within the top 10 favorites to win it. So then he wins that one match. Now it's the final 16. Now he's a top 8 in there to win it. And then he wins one more match. Now you're in the final 8. Well, now it's just dead gambling from there. Now
That's
it's just
where, yes,
you're just pure luck. So like he's
that's right.
supposed to get to the final 32 for the next 3 years because of the way it's seeded. He should have an easy draw, and he'll get to the final, 128 to play into the 64, and then 64 is going to be single elimination. Hopefully, he gets a Dominick Dunn. He beats them, and then it's in the final 32. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, dude, the U.S. Open was last year was one of the best calendar events of the entire year. The one thing I'll tell you, like for fans that are at home, that one thing I do know is that it is expensive to travel to these events. So as a fan, you want to pick and choose which ones you can go to. I would highly suggest Buffalo's classic if you like a lot of action. If you can stay up all night and ours and do all that, if you can wake up at 11 a.m., watch 11 a.m. matches, and then go to sleep at 6 a.m. and sleep 5 hours a day, Buffalo Classic is for you. You will see the best action in one pocket and all that other good stuff. A lot of money on the line, a lot of pressure. The next best thing is the U.S. Open because when it gets down to the final 128 on day four, the tension in the room, nobody is
Yeah,
friends anymore. It
yeah,
is, dude, it gives me chills because you can see
yeah.
them giving it their all every rack. And it is just beautiful to see as a fan when it gets to 128. When it gets to 64 and they come back the fifth day for this final 64, there ain't no talking. There's no, hey, do you want to take a bathroom break? There's no like niceness. They are out to kill each other because it means so much to everybody. And I love it.
100%. Barry Berman was the founder of that event. I knew Barry. He was a very good friend of mine. He actually lived in Chesapeake, Virginia, and he was a great guy. I knew his son very well. But we were actually very close. He would be so freaking proud to see what Matchroom, Emily Frazier, and the rest of the crew have done with that event. That event is through the roof, and of course, Bobby goes to that event as well, Mr. Boone.
Hmm.
And I think it's obviously, in my opinion, probably the best event in the States. You can't compare the Mosconi Cup to it. They're completely
No,
different events.
totally
Uh,
different.
but I've said I think for a tournament as a whole, it's probably still the toughest tournament to win. Saudi might be it now. 250,000 up top, really top two events in the world.
Yeah, Saudi's
Actually,
interesting because when you get into the final eight, you're playing for prize pool money that you've never played before. So
Right.
if you're in the final eight and you're, let's say, a Jonas Soto, for instance, right? Or however you pronounce his name, I bet you he's never played a tournament to where just to get into eighth place, you're about to win 40,000. But he's probably won some tournaments that's paid 10,000, 5,000, 7,000. But let you go play ninth through 12th for 20, eighth place for 40. Like it's unreal the amount of money that like you're not playing a fifth, sixth match for 50,000. Like that's unheard of. It's
Yeah, and
unheard of.
if you win that tournament in Saudi, you can just forget about
250.
the 250,000. You're going to get endorsements that are going to match that,
yeah, that's one
Yeah.
of
or more, or more,
that
or more.
that's one of the things I want to talk about with you. And I don't think people are talking about it as much. And we talked to Emily Scott last week about it. Those two events are within a month of each other, right? Or 2 months of each other.
Yeah, yeah,
Saudi,
yeah.
I
About a
mean,
month of that. Yeah,
yeah, 250,000, 100,000. Again, you can come in third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and it's life changing. The endorsements and everything else. So people always say, "Oh, the money's not in pool." The money's not there yet, but we're real freaking close. When you can get that kind of money in Saudi, from what I understand, is a 10-year deal, right? Is that what it?
yes, a 10-year deal, $1 million
So,
added each event.
yeah. So we
Wow.
got two events in the bank. We got eight more guaranteed for 250,000. It's just it's incredible. I mean, yeah. What do you think about that, Dominic? I mean, 10 years of $1 million, and the other ones are going to grow too.
I think when you're playing at the finals was the difference of 100 grand and 250. So the finals was 100, it was $150,000 match. I'll tell you what, there's not many people that can hold their arms straight for that amount of money, and they did a damn good job. It went hill.
Yep.
It was
I was 10
absolutely
feet from I
incredible.
was 10 feet from the table, and it was
Yeah,
insane. I'd
That
say if there was any,
scratch, that
it's
yeah,
scratch by
if
unreal.
there
Kachi.
It's unreal.
there was
That
if there was anything that compared to the finals at the U.S. Open with Shane and Federer, it was Kachi and Federer in that final. When I say compared, like that venue and that atmosphere when Kachi scratched,
um,
really the whole match was just like it was insane. It
Dude,
was insane.
Kachi is so talented. I mean, Kachi is one of the most feared players on tour. I mean, he beats Filler every time they play. He beats Federer a lot of the times, or he goes hill with them. Like, I mean, Kachi goes hill with Federer and Filler so often that it's unreal. Which is why they always laugh when when Kachi barks at them. But like, what they don't realize is like Kachi's got a ton
Yeah,
of money behind him, and
yeah.
he's got
Yeah,
the
the
Albanian.
most. Yeah,
He's got the Albanian money behind him, and listen, he is like a very much a celebrity over there, like I'm a celebrity in my household. And this dude can get it. Like he can get money behind him. Now that arm injury, unfortunate, but the guy plays four tournaments after his arm injury and gets second in Saudi and wins the other event. The dude is unreal. His cue ball is
he is.
disgusting.
Yeah,
And
he
let
played
him play
here.
without a shot clock. I mean, you're going to get slow played to death to where he's going to play so good and you're going to be so cold. He's just going to heist you on those surrounding tables. So he makes it to the single redraw so easily because if he can take 2 minutes to really think about how many centimeters he needs that cue ball to pop off the rail, he's going to do it. The
Yeah,
guy is so talented, it's unreal.
he played Jason Shaw in the semifinals at our McDermott Open here in March, and he's down 7-5. Shaw makes a mistake and he loses the match 11-7. That's what happened.
It's
And
unreal.
he's playing in a 4-inch pocket. I mean, it's a tough table,
That's
and
unreal, dude.
and he and,
Unreal.
and he beats FSR in the finals. He is a great player. Kachi's just so. Now, how about young Kachi? He just won an event this week as well. This kid is
I
playing.
can't believe that.
Yeah, I
Loses
think
to Lucas
The
and then beats
Bucharest
Ford.
Open. I think it was. He just won.
Bucharest Open goes to the finals, and the way he wins the tournament is unreal with a Mass A kick shot, Mach 10 to get dead perfect to get out. It was unbelievable. I mean, the kid Clado is so sick for like we're very new to seeing him in billiards for the most part, but like he is a
Yeah,
spitting image of Kachi. I mean, the way he plays his patterns, the way he strokes the ball, his one rail shape, his whatever. The only thing he probably doesn't have that Kachi has is kicking. Kachi's one of the best kickers in the game, and
agreed.
but I
He's
mean,
got
given
more
Earl
natural
Page,
talent though, Don. Like
that's
Eklund, or
interesting.
excuse me, Cledio's got more natural talent. We've been watching for one. I've said that I think
That's interesting. Yeah.
Cledio and
18
AJ
years old, I
Manis are
believe.
like, yeah,
18,
they're
right?
like, in
18
my
year 18
opinion,
Fargo. It's unbelievable.
two
Fucking unbelievable.
guys, AJ Manis, Cledio Kachi. And trust me, in 5 years, they're going to be
Oh,
at the top of the list all
yeah.
the
AJ,
time.
AJ, AJ's better than Plato, though, but AJ's just so
Different
disgusting.
styles.
It's so sick.
AJ's just natural. AJ's natural like
If
filler, but
AJ, if anybody,
Cledio's,
dude, if
yeah,
anybody could ever tell AJ, hey, you're not on table time, the dude would heist the world. The dude's
he's
playing
just
so
young. He's
fast.
young. He'll mature. He'll mature.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, what about the Efren Cup? They haven't announced yet who's
Reyes Cup.
The
yeah,
Reyes
Reyes Cup. They're not playing. Who they have
October.
announced what they're playing, right?
No,
Are they?
no, it goes by points. So you're going to have the first three, which again, Saudi Arabia is going to lock that up, which you can guarantee. Whoever's in the top spot right now, which is Yap's guaranteed to be on the team. So, but Saudi Arabia determines everything. So at the end of June, it's going to
Yeah.
determine
Moscone
everything
too, for sure.
for
Moscone
everything.
too.
Even if you take away whoever wins it, let's say a European wins it, okay, that's fine. So he guarantees that. Well, then you're going to know whoever gets the top eight there are going to get so many points that they're going to be so ahead that you'll know who's the top three picks per team, whether it's USA, Euro, or the eight team Asia. And then it comes down to just who's gonna come with the wild cards. But Europe and Team Asia is going to be interesting. Mainly Europe. I'm curious to see what Team Europe does this year. I think they're going to be forced to have two rookies, which is
Well, why are you saying that team Europe's playing in the race guaranteed playing the race?
It's not
no,
confirmed
no,
yet.
no. I
That's
mean,
one of the things.
no, no. I mean, like, no, not that they're playing in the Reyes Cup. That Europe and USA with Mosconi Cup.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
We
Isn't
were talking
yeah.
about
we're
the
gonna
Reyes Cup. I thought you were talking
Yeah.
about the Reyes.
No, no. There's three teams: USA, Euro, and Asia. We'll know the top
Yeah,
three players at the end of June, World Championship. But
right.
I think USA's team. I mean, I would probably. I mean, I'd have to probably lay 1,000, and I could pick the top five players that are going to get picked. I mean, it's a no-brainer. They're never going to deviate for the next 2 years, and it is what it is. I don't care what anybody says. But Europe now. Listen, Europe's dead gambling every year. Like if somebody could lay odds of who makes the team for Europe, it would be some of the best action because there is so many people that can win like a Peaches that ranking just
Hughes,
changed.
Hughes, Hughes,
Whatever. Yeah, Peaches. P juice.
P
Hughes,
juice. P juice. P
Hughes,
juice.
P juice.
P
P
juice.
Hughes.
juice.
Oh my
But there's
God.
so many Jonas Soto. Like, I mean, how are you going to deny these guys? They're knocking on the
Yep.
door.
Yep.
And
Yeah, yeah.
we just need, I don't care what anybody says. I just want to see Mario make the team one time, and then I'm good. I'll never bust Europe's balls again. Panda needs to get on the team. He deserves it.
He
Such a
might.
good guy.
He
Such
might.
a good guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
All right, so what's the move now, boys? I
Uh,
am fucking tired.
yeah, that's about it. Unless there's anything else we want to talk about, we did. I think we touched the World Championship. We touched on the U.S. Open. We touched the Reyes Manas Cup. I was going to ask you what tournament you like the best, but you actually answered it for me anyway. You were talking about Buffaloes, and then so I think we're good to go. I know Dominick's got to go watch his baby girl, so you
Yeah,
know.
I think Buffalo's the best tournament, and then U.S. Open, and then Mosconi Cup. Those are the three that I would spend money as a fan to attend.
One more time. So Dominic, what if you had to pick all the events to go to? How do you rank your bets as far as billiards? What would you go?
There's in my opinion, there's three. If you can't afford to like go to 10 events a year, let's say you can only go one or you can only go to two or three, this is how I'd rank them. I think if you're a fan of one pocket, then you want to attend Buffalo's because you'll get the highest stakes one pocket. They'll be playing for $500,000. They're going to be getting the best players in the world playing on their best, and they're going to get late night action. So from 11 p.m. till 6 a.m., there's going to be action all night long, and then at 11 a.m., the matches for the tournament starts again, and you do it all over again. You sleep from 6 a.m. till 11, and it's amazing. You get some
Yeah,
of the best people. All the pros are right there. They all talk to you. I mean, it's just, there's nothing like it. It's just, there's no cameras, there's no, it is just everybody can be themselves, and you don't have people like me with a phone saying, "Hey, what do you think about this?" or "What do you think about that?" Like it's a unspoken rule that everybody is we're there to just play pool and leave us alone. It's beautiful. I love it. Now, if you want tournament, there is nothing like the U.S. Open in the United States for pressure. Once it gets down to the 128, like I said last, the pressure is just it's not duplicable. Um, so attend the U.S. Open. If you can't afford to do the whole trip, skip the first 3 days, go the last 4 days when they do the final 128, and then you'll see the good stuff. And the third one would be, which is surprising for me to say this, regardless of who you care and who you want to play or not, or who you like, attending the Moscone Cup is definitely a must because it is a party and it is a great time and it is very, very interesting. There is nothing like it in pool, and I'm very surprised. I'm glad I popped my cherry this year and watched and went to Orlando, 20 minutes from my house and watched it. I'm very happy I did.
20 minutes. 20 minutes from the house.
20 minutes. Florida opens 20 minutes. The international's an hour and a half. There's another two
Way
other
to
pros.
step out, way to step out of your comfort zone, Bob. Way to-
All right. So on that note, Dominic, we're going to say thank you for joining us on this show. I hope you had a good time and share with all your folks. And, we'll make some bad clips to put out there for you to make funny, I'm sure.
I hate you. All right. Well, Mr. Boom and Mr. Freezer, thank you guys for having me, and I appreciate y'all and everything y'all do for the billiards industry. And it's an honor to be on your podcast or even be wanted to. I'm glad the other 17 people canceled, so thank you.
Thanks,
All
Dom. You're the
right,
best, bud.
Dom. I'll see you later,
Talk
man.
to you soon.
See you, bud.
All right.
All
All
right,
right.
bye.
We have a few people to thank. You and I talked a lot about this. I think that it's probably the most important part of the engine that keeps it running, and it's the sponsors, the people that support everybody in the industry. And we've got some great sponsors, don't we? You've got some great sponsors. I've got some great sponsors. I think the industry has some great sponsors.
Yeah, no, no, I agree 100%. I mean, without them, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing, and they're making everybody making these things happen, making everything possible from podcasts to adding money to tournaments to doing everything. So let's give a quick shout out to a couple of them. Right now, two of them I want to say real quick too is I talked to you about this a couple times, Scott. Andy Gow, like, share, and donate, and he's a big contributor to the pool. He shares everything that's out there. Andy Gow is just a huge supporter of all pool. So shout out to you, Andy. And of course, Wayne Harriman, the Sandman, plays out of here at Yale Billiards. But again, he's another contributor, Scott. You have a lot of people like that that actually just contribute to the game, whether it's financially or other ways as well.
Yeah, I agree. It's because they love the game, right? And they're figures in your local pool room, but they're much bigger than that. They're actually really putting money into it, supporting the sport. And I think that's really special. Thank you to Andy Gow. Thank you to the Sandman. Appreciate you both. My end, and obviously supporting us in a whole is Classic Billiards, first and foremost, Dave Bartosiak. Dave Bartosiak and his wife Leah, Classic Billiards in South Florida. Listen, you have an amazing room and an amazing vibe, very similar. Classic Billiards in South Florida. I'm here right now in Miami. I'm in an amazing suite that he's put me up in for I don't even know how long I've been here. 7 days. But they're doing so much for Pool Bobby. They've got a franchise license, so they're looking to expand. They're expanding the room they're in. They just had Shane Van Boning here. They're sponsoring a lot of players. just want to give them a big shout out. Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Florida, basically that area. Classic Billiards, thank you so much. And then quickly, got to give a shout out to Evo Sports. Evo Sports, Justin, Evo Sports is a global streaming platform. They're doing a lot of stuff overseas in Asia, things like that. We're looking to do some big things together. So them standing behind us means a lot. I want to thank Evo Sports for all they do.
Let's talk a little bit about that classic billiards that you're talking about. They seem like they got a lot going on. They seem like they're doing big things. Like you said, having Shane there. And how many tables do they have at this room that they have now?
Right now, I think they have 16 tables, but they just got the space next door, and it should be done by October, I believe it is, and they're doubling that, so they're going to have 32 tables. But listen, they need it because they pack this place every single night. It's because of the owners. They're great people, Dave and Leah. The vibe they let off is loose. It's fast and loose, and they're just great people, and they all have fun. Been here a week, Bobby, just like your room. Been here a week, and there's not been one argument, and you're stuffing these people in here.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't walk
fantastic.
around. Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that warms my heart. Obviously, I have a pool room and 16
Yes, you
pool
do.
tables as well. And to hear that is just great. I love to hear it. What do they have? Do they have like TVs, music, jukebox? They have good food as well?
They have amazing food. Their chicken wings are true. They're known literally through Florida for their chicken wings. They're handmade. They're roasted for like 2.5 hours. They put this garlic, true real garlic on them. They have a bunch of great food. They have TVs everywhere. It's a sports bar. They have a streaming in there where you can watch yourself play. They've got like the billiard channel on 24/7. Bartenders and the service as good as it gets. It's just all great stuff, just like your room, dude. Really,
Nice.
really, it's a very, very comparable.
Nice. I got to get that license out. Start get more yield billiards out there. It's a great idea by Classic. That's good job by those guys for sure.
Yeah,
Congrats.
yeah.
And what's the Evo Sports? So they do like billiard platforms, or they do all kinds of sports.
Yeah,
Evo
yeah.
Sports.
Evo
Yeah,
is solely a billiard streaming platform, but they're looking to expand. They're doing things in Asia. They're doing things overseas. I think they're doing some stuff in Europe as well. They're doing stuff in China, Asia, I think Japan. They're a big streaming platform for pool, right?
right.
Pool only. And they're looking to like expand and have some commentary stuff and some different platforms people can
Nice,
hire people on, which is going to be great.
nice. And then you got a PNW pool thing. What's that all about? Tell us a little
P&W
more about
Pool
that.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, P&W Pool thing stream. Jesse Johnson, they're out of the Northwest, and they are another streaming platform. He does a lot of stuff out of his own home, but he supports pool big time. They've got a pool room up there. They support it, and they do a lot of streaming, do a lot of matches. Look up P&W Pool Thing stream. Their actual logo or motto is a Bigfoot, right? So that there's a Bigfoot up in the Northwest, which I like. I believe in Bigfoot. They're doing cool stuff, man. I'm excited for them, and I'm really grateful for Jesse Johnson and PNW Pool Thing Stream.
nice. And let's touch on two more sponsors real quick. In the box, Elvis. He's doing a lot of things as well for the sport. His shirt designs. I have one hanging up in my for sale, my retail store of the Viking. It's just unbelievable. The whole picture is just like a Viking. It's one of the best shirts I've ever seen. Of course, for Mickey Krause, and some of the designs they're coming up with are second to none. They're involved in the sport. They're doing tournaments, and those guys are really doing a lot of big things for the sport as well. In the box, and Elvis, you know them as well, right?
Great people, man. You introduced me to them. You really introduced me to them at the Super Beard Expo. And you know this. I sat there and talked to them for 15 or 20 minutes, took pictures. We got to know each other. Really, really great people that are going to do great things for the industry. That's why they're partnered with you, obviously.
Nice. And the last thing, of course, McDermott Hughes, they're warm to my heart. We got them right here on the logo behind me. And, they're doing big things over there with McDermott. They've been doing cues for so many years. They've been a leader. I mean, they're second to none. Everybody knows McDermott Q. The quality is just incredible. And here's the thing, if you have something wrong with them, it comes with a lifetime warranty, Scott. How about that? It could be, I can give it to my daughter in 20 years. She can say, hey, there's something wrong with it. Let's get it and fix it. How can you go wrong with that, right?
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. I think my brother had a McDermott. My brother didn't even really play pool.
Right.
Everybody knows Hatta McDermott, and
Yeah.
their quality has gone through the roof as well. They make really quality stuff. Their cues hit great. A good friend of mine just bought a McDermott just recently, and I hit a couple balls with it in Orlando, I believe, and I was highly impressed. Highly.
Nice shout out to McDermott. If you don't got one, go get one.
Yep.
All right, brother. That's what I got. I think that was it.
Well,
We
what
killed them
about
all, right?
Tommy? You said
Oh, Tommy's. I
last, but
missed Tommy's. Oh,
that's what
yeah,
I was
yeah,
worried
yeah.
about because you
I
said
missed that
last
one.
there. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's all right. We'll have it. I'll let him know he's got to edit this one in.
yep.
Um, yeah, I actually want to give a quick shout out. That's not even a pool thing, Scott. We got a guy out there who owns a tattoo supply company. His name's Tommy. It's Tommy's Tattoo Supply, and it's one of the largest ones in the United States. And I mean, he's a big supporter of pool. He owned a pool room back in the day. He ended up selling it, and that's how much he loves the sport. But he's a busy guy. He does conventions, and how about that? You got a guy like that supporting the business.
It's pretty cool. A lot of people in the pool world, Jason Shaw, myself, a lot of people in the pool world have tattoos. A lot of people like tattoos. A lot of people don't. But for a guy to get into this business and then this industry and support us like that, I think it's special. He's obviously connected to the pool world, and he's got the supplies from the East Coast to the West Coast. He's got them all. Check him out, Tommy's Tattoo Supplies, and we greatly appreciate you for that. And then Bobby, gotta say one thing. David Lee and Alfonso, Metro Sports Bar and Grill, they support me. They allow me to leave town, help me out. Metro Sports Bar and Grill in North Phoenix, they do big things as well. Great pool room, great people all the time. And I just wanted to thank Metro Sports Bar and Grill for supporting me while I'm out here.